Welcome to your personalized deep dive.
Ooh, exciting.
Today, we're going beyond this life.
Okay.
We'll be exploring Islamic perspectives on the afterlife. We've got some fascinating excerpts for you from Volume 1 of Zadul Ma'ad,
Zadul Ma'ad.
which translates to,
Provisions for the hereafter.
it's a theological text. It's by Ibn al-Qayyim,
Yeah.
and it really delves into, how actions in this life can impact your experience in the afterlife according to Islam.
Yeah.
Even if you're not familiar with Islam, get ready for some really thought-provoking concepts about life, death, and what might lie beyond.
Absolutely. I think this is going to be a really interesting look into a different worldview.
So this book is kind of like a roadmap for Muslims.
Okay.
It guides them on how to live righteously in preparation for the afterlife. We'll be focusing on excerpts from the translation by Jalal Abulrub. It's edited by Ala Menka and Shahid M. Ali,
Right.
published by Islamic Learning Media Publications. So having kind of established, the purpose of the book, what jumped out at you as we delved into these excerpts?
Well, one of the things that really stood out to me was this emphasis on action.
Action.
It's not just about believing in God.
Oh, interesting.
The book is really diving into this idea that every little thing you do can be a good deed, even a simple smile.
So it's not just about these grand gestures, but also about the small, everyday acts of kindness.
Yeah, exactly. And what I found really fascinating was it doesn't just say do good things. It really digs into the why behind your actions.
Oh, okay.
Emphasizes the importance of naya,
Naya.
which is like intention or a sincere motivation.
Okay.
So if you're helping someone, let's say just to show off,
Right.
the text suggests that, well, the spiritual value of that action might be diminished in the eyes of God.
Wow, that's a pretty nuanced take on good deeds.
Yeah.
It's not just about checking off a box, but really examining your motivations.
Yeah, and I think Zadul Ma'ad is all about aligning your inner self with your outer actions. And it constantly reminds us that this life is a journey, a test, a preparation for the eternal life to come.
It's like a dress rehearsal for the main event.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of good deeds and their impact, the text also paints a pretty vivid picture of Judgment Day, right? That's a concept that can feel pretty intense for people. What struck you the most about how the book handles it?
Well, I think the imagery that they use in this text is really powerful. They talk about deeds being weighed on a scale.
Literally weighed.
Yeah. Your good actions against the not-so-good ones.
Oh, wow.
As you stand before God. But while it emphasizes the seriousness of judgment, it also highlights God's infinite mercy and forgiveness.
Okay, so it's not this black and white, like good people go to heaven, bad people go to hell.
Right. It's definitely more nuanced than that.
Okay.
The text acknowledges that everyone makes mistakes.
Of course.
We're human, but it offers this hope that sincere repentance and striving for righteousness can tip the scales, so to speak.
Oh, okay, so it brings a sense of balance.
Yeah.
That's reassuring. I mean, this whole Judgment Day thing can make anyone sweat a little.
I think it's meant to encourage, reflection and self-improvement. It's a reminder that our actions matter both in this life and the next.
That makes sense. So we've talked about actions, we've talked about Judgment Day.
Right.
Zadul Ma'ad emphasizes the importance of something even deeper than that, though, right? This idea of internal purification.
Yes.
It's not enough to just go through the motions of doing good deeds.
Right.
It's about cultivating a pure heart. Can you elaborate on that a bit more?
Sure. Imagine polishing a mirror
Okay.
so that it can reflect light more clearly.
Mm-hmm.
In Zadul Ma'ad, that mirror is your heart.
Oh, interesting.
The book emphasizes purifying your heart from, well, negative traits,
Like what?
like arrogance, envy, greed,
Okay.
and filling it with more positive qualities like humility, compassion, love.
So it's like a continuous spiritual spring cleaning,
Exactly.
getting rid of the bad vibes and cultivating the good stuff.
Yeah. And this internal transformation, according to the text, is what allows you to truly connect with God and do good deeds from a place of sincerity, not just obligation.
That's a really powerful concept. It makes you think about how we approach our everyday lives. So far, we've touched upon the impact of actions, this concept of Judgment Day, and this fascinating idea of internal purification.
Right.
All of these, according to Zadul Ma'ad, are crucial in preparing for the afterlife.
Yeah.
But it's not just about getting into the afterlife. It's about what your experience in the afterlife might be like.
Right.
There's this concept of different levels of paradise.
Yes.
I found that really intriguing.
It's not a one-size-fits-all afterlife experience.
So it's like getting an A+ versus barely passing.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
What determines which level you might attain?
Well, the text indicates that the quality and sincerity of your actions play a significant role.
Makes sense.
Someone who consistently strives for righteousness, cultivates a pure heart, and goes above and beyond in their good deeds is likely to reach a higher level of paradise than someone who just meets the bare minimum requirements.
Right, like aiming for that VIP section in the afterlife. But before we dive deeper into the different levels of paradise, let's pause here. We'll pick up the conversation in part 2 of this deep dive.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Zadul Ma'ad,
Yes.
where we're exploring these Islamic perspectives on the afterlife.
Right.
Before the break, we were just starting to uncover this idea of different levels of paradise. It's not just about getting in, it's about where you end up based on your actions and intentions in this life.
Yeah, the idea is that paradise isn't this uniform experience. Zadul Ma'ad describes it as having these various levels, each with its own unique blessings and rewards. The higher the level, the greater the bliss and closeness to God. So it's like a spiritual upgrade system for the afterlife.
That's a great way to put it. And it's incredibly motivating.
Right.
Knowing that there are these tiers of reward encourages Muslims to constantly strive for excellence in their deeds and intentions.
So it's like aiming for that VIP section in the afterlife.
Exactly.
But what are some of the things that might elevate someone to a higher level?
Well, the text emphasizes that sincerity is key.
Okay.
It's not enough to just go through the motions of religious rituals. Your heart needs to be in it.
Right.
Additionally, going above and beyond in your good deeds, consistently seeking knowledge, and striving to overcome those negative traits are all highlighted as ways to elevate your spiritual standing.
It really reinforces this idea that the preparation for the afterlife is this ongoing process of self-improvement.
Absolutely.
A constant striving for something greater.
Yeah, it's about recognizing that even though this life is temporary, the impact of our actions and the state of our hearts can have eternal consequences.
Now, you mentioned seeking knowledge as a way to elevate your spiritual standing. Could you elaborate on that?
Sure. In Islam, seeking knowledge is considered a highly virtuous act.
Okay.
Zadul Ma'ad really emphasizes the importance of learning about Islamic teachings, understanding the Quran, and studying the life of Prophet Muhammad.
Right, who is considered the final messenger of God in Islam.
Exactly.
So it's not just about blindly following rituals, it's about understanding the why behind those practices and deepening your knowledge of the faith.
Precisely. Seeking knowledge empowers individuals to make informed decisions, strengthen their connection with God, and guide others towards righteousness.
Okay.
It's considered a lifelong pursuit, a journey that continues even into the afterlife.
That's really interesting. It challenges this idea that religious belief is all about blind faith.
Yeah.
It encourages critical thinking and active engagement with the teachings.
Absolutely. And it highlights that the pursuit of knowledge is valuable in both this life and the next. It helps us navigate the complexities of the world around us.
Right.
And prepare for that eternal journey ahead.
Okay, so we've got this picture of paradise with its varying levels, this constant striving for spiritual excellence, and this importance of seeking knowledge. It's all pretty thought-provoking. But Zadul Ma'ad doesn't just focus on the afterlife, right? It offers guidance on how to live a meaningful life in this world as well. What are some of the key takeaways in that regard?
Well, one of the most prominent themes is this emphasis on living a balanced life.
Balanced.
The text acknowledges that while preparing for the afterlife is crucial, it shouldn't come at the expense of neglecting your responsibilities in this world.
So it's not about renouncing all worldly pleasures and living like a hermit in a cave.
Not at all. Zadul Ma'ad encourages Muslims to engage with the world, to contribute to society, to build families, and to enjoy the blessings that God has provided. But it also stresses the importance of moderation and mindfulness.
So it's about finding that sweet spot between worldly engagement and spiritual growth.
Exactly. It's about living a life that is both fulfilling in this world and conducive to a positive outcome in the next.
And this idea of balance extends to our relationships with others as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The text places a strong emphasis on treating others with kindness, compassion, and respect.
Okay.
It highlights the importance of upholding justice, speaking truthfully, and fulfilling your promises.
So it's not just about your individual relationship with God, it's about how you interact with the people around you as well.
Exactly.
Mm.
Zadul Ma'ad emphasizes that our actions towards others are a reflection of our inner state and can significantly impact our standing in the eyes of God.
Okay.
It reminds us that building strong ethical relationships and contributing positively to our communities are integral aspects of living a righteous life.
It really brings home this idea that spirituality isn't just an individual pursuit. It's about creating a more just and compassionate world for everyone.
Yes, and it underscores the interconnectedness of our actions
Right.
and the ripple effects on both ourselves and those around us.
As we're exploring these various aspects of Zadul Ahmad, I can't help but think about the rich imagery and the metaphors the text uses to convey these concepts. It's not just a dry theological treatise. It's filled with vivid descriptions that make these ideas come alive.
Yeah, the use of metaphors and analogies is one of the things that makes Zadul Ma'ad so compelling, I think.
For sure.
It helps readers, or in this case listeners, grasp complex theological concepts in a way that is relatable and engaging.
For example, earlier we talked about that scale weighing good and bad deeds on Judgment Day.
Right.
That's such a powerful image, it sticks with you. Are there any other metaphors from the text that particularly resonated with you?
Yeah, one that I find quite striking is the analogy of the heart as a garden.
Oh, a garden.
Just like a garden needs to be cultivated, nurtured, and protected from weeds, our hearts also require that constant attention and care.
Oh, okay.
We need to plant seeds of good deeds, water them with sincerity, and remove the weeds of negative thoughts and desires.
That's a beautiful analogy.
It highlights that inner transformation is an ongoing process, requiring effort and vigilance.
It's not something that happens overnight.
Exactly. And just like a well-tended garden yields beautiful flowers and fruits, a purified heart yields a life filled with righteousness, peace, and spiritual growth.
It's a reminder that the journey of self-improvement is continuous.
Absolutely.
In this life and, as Zadul Ma'ad suggests, in the afterlife as well.
The pursuit of spiritual excellence is a lifelong endeavor, one that extends beyond the confines of our earthly existence.
As we delve deeper into these concepts, it's becoming increasingly clear that Zadul Ma'ad isn't just a guidebook for Muslims.
Right.
It's this treasure trove of wisdom and insights that can resonate with anyone seeking a more meaningful and purpose-driven life.
I completely agree. It offers valuable perspectives on navigating the complexities of life, building strong relationships, and striving for inner peace and fulfillment, regardless of one's religious beliefs.
And it challenges us to think about the bigger picture, to consider the lasting impact of our actions, and to approach life with intentionality and a commitment to personal growth.
It's a powerful invitation to live a life that is both fulfilling in the present and conducive to a positive outcome in the hereafter.
Whatever that may look like for each individual. This deep dive into Zadul Ma'ad has been incredibly enlightening so far.
Yeah.
We've explored the concept of different levels of paradise, the importance of seeking knowledge and living a balanced life, and the beautiful metaphors the text uses to illustrate its teachings.
Right.
But there's so much more to uncover.
There is.
And I'm eager to continue our exploration. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into Zadul Ma'ad.
Ooh, the final part.
We've been unpacking some really thought-provoking ideas about how our actions in this life, according to Islamic teachings, can have an impact on our experience in the afterlife. I'm ready to see where this journey takes us next.
Okay, great.
So we've talked a lot about the what, the how, the actions, the intentions, the different levels of paradise. But Zadul Ma'ad also spends a good deal of time exploring the why.
The why, yeah.
Why should we strive for righteousness? Why is it so crucial to prepare for the afterlife?
Well, that's a good question. I think one of the things that the book does is it kind of frames it a few different ways. One is this idea that by striving for righteousness, by purifying our hearts, we're actually fulfilling our true purpose as human beings.
Okay.
You know, we were created by God, and our ultimate goal is to draw closer to Him.
So it's not just about avoiding punishment or earning rewards. It's about aligning ourselves with our inherent nature as creations of God.
That's right.
It suggests that by living in accordance with God's will, we're tapping into this deeper sense of peace, fulfillment, purpose that transcends the fleeting pleasures of this world.
Yeah.
It makes me think about how even outside a religious context, so many people are searching for that sense of purpose.
Yes.
That feeling of being connected to something greater than themselves.
Yeah.
It's a universal human longing.
Yeah, and Zadul Ma'ad offers this framework, for fulfilling that longing through a life of devotion, self-improvement, service to others.
No, it's interesting how the book intertwines these concepts of personal fulfillment with social responsibility.
Right.
It's not just about your individual journey. It's about contributing to a more just and compassionate world as well.
Absolutely. Zadul Ahmad emphasizes that true righteousness extends beyond personal piety
Okay.
and encompasses our interactions with others. It really encourages acts of kindness, charity, standing up for justice, and promoting peace within our communities.
So it's like this holistic approach to living a good life, encompassing both the inner world of the individual and the outer world of social interaction.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that our actions have these ripple effects,
Right.
impacting not only our own spiritual standing, but also the well-being of those around us.
So as we're nearing the end of our deep dive, I'm curious, what's one key takeaway from Zad ul-Ma'ad that you think our listeners should walk away with,
Okay.
even if they're not Muslim or particularly religious?
That's a great question. I think one of the most powerful messages of the book is this importance of intentionality.
Intentionality.
Whether it's a simple act of kindness
Right.
or a major life decision.
Mm-hmm.
Zad ul-Ma'ad encourages us to kind of pause
Okay.
and consider our motivations, to strive for sincerity in all that we do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reminder that our actions aren't just these external events,
Okay.
but reflections of our inner state, shaping who we become and the legacy we leave behind.
That's such a valuable insight.
Yeah.
And it applies to everyone, regardless of their beliefs. It's about being mindful, being present in our actions,
Right.
and aligning our outer behavior with our inner values.
Exactly. It's about living a life that is both deliberate and purposeful, recognizing that even seemingly small choices can have a profound impact on ourselves and those around us.
Well, I don't know about you, but this deep dive has definitely given me a lot to think about. It's amazing how exploring these perspectives from different cultures and traditions can spark such profound insights into the human experience.
I completely agree. It's a reminder that wisdom and guidance can be found in unexpected places, enriching our understanding of life's big questions and inspiring us to live more intentionally.
And on that note, we've reached the end of our journey into the fascinating world of Zad ul-Ma'ad. We hope this deep dive has provided you with some new perspectives on life, death, and the choices we make in between.
Yeah.
If you're intrigued by what you've heard, we encourage you to explore the book further. You might just find your own personal takeaways from its rich teachings.
Absolutely.
And as you go about your day, we leave you with this final thought. What changes, big or small, might you make in your own life if you truly believed that your actions in this world had an impact that extended far beyond your time on Earth? Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey. Until next time, keep diving deep.
Bye.